I've been consistent with this for 7 years now, guys. So remember, we're playing the long game here too, okay? You're going to see results fairly quickly, but really keep in mind the long game.
What's your plan for tomorrow? Are you a leader or will you follow? Are you a fighter or will you cower? It's our time, take back the power. What's your plan?
Hey guys, welcome back to the Rebel Show. I am Bree Mesquit, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to utilize social media to build your clientele. So this is actually a lesson that I did recently at the Oregon Aesthetic Show in Portland, which was really fun to be doing a small local show. We got to bring the kids along, but this is a lesson that I taught and it was an absolute hit. So many people came up to our booth afterwards and they're like, this literally made the price of admission worth it. So my goal today is to actually give you actionable steps, like not just broad theory of what sounds great and grand, but it's like, okay, how do I actually do that and make my following convert into clients? So I'm going to teach you 3 actionable steps that you can take starting like right now. We'll finish the episode first, and then you can start putting these things into place and you're going to see the results quickly. This is actually one of the first things I do with my private coaching clients to make sure that their social media is being optimized to convert followers into clients. And the feedback I get literally is amazing within the first like 24 to 48 hours. So get a pen and paper. If you're driving, just listen along. A lot of times it's great to listen to these things multiple times. This is an episode that you'll want to repeat for sure. So save it, do what you need to do to come back to it. But if you are not driving and you are able to sit down with a pen and paper, definitely do so, because we're going to really get into the meat and potatoes of how to convert your following into paying clients. Okay, so first, let's start with this. Social media is not sales media. It is called social media for a reason. You cannot just be haphazardly posting on your Instagram, on your TikTok, on Facebook, here on YouTube when you are needing to sell, when you're needing to book clients, when you're needing to sell product. You need to be intentional about your consistency with your Instagram, with your TikTok, with any social media platform. You need to be social and utilizing it how it was originally created to be utilized. So social media, not sales media. Now with that, if you're being social, if you're being engaging, if you're adding value, then you are able to also use it for sales. So it's great, but it's a give take, and it's more giving than it is taking. Okay, I follow a give ask ratio. So for every 3 gives, so that means adding value, whether it's education, it can be entertainment. I'm getting ahead of myself. But anyways, you want to make sure that you're giving more than you're asking, okay? So social media is not just about posting content. It's about creating connections, adding value, like I mentioned, building trust. And when you focus on helping and not just selling, then that's when your audience turns into a loyal clientele and loyal clients for you. All right, so the main goal with this episode is to teach you guys how to convert your followers into actual clients. And I would say the secondary goal too is to make sure that we are attracting our ideal clients. I don't want you guys to focus on your follower count. I would rather you guys have 1,000 followers that convert to $10,000 in sales rather than 10,000 followers that convert to $1,000 of sales. So we're not here for the clout of a high follower count. We want to make sure it's actually helping you guys to increase your revenue, okay? So that's the goal here, is to actually attract our ideal potential future clients and convert those followers into paying clients that book a service and come in and enjoy a service by you. So the 3 actionable steps I'm going to be teaching you guys today is creating your client avatar. So we need to know who our ideal client actually is. Then we're going to learn how to optimize our bio as well. And lastly, we will develop a content plan and strategy for you guys to start following literally after this episode is over. Also, side note, if you guys are not following me on Instagram, make sure to follow me on Instagram because I've added an additional content pillar to my content plan and my personal strategy, and it includes social media growth and tips and tricks for you guys. And I literally posted like a week ago, so by the time you guys are watching this, it'll probably be about a month out. You'll want to go back and look, and I'll have a ton more by the time you guys are actually watching this episode. I literally have posted and put out like sample content plans for you guys. It says Monday, post a reel about this. Wednesday, post a reel about this. Friday, post a story. I map it all out for you guys. So make sure you're following me over there on Instagram. I also try to make sure I post a lot of this stuff to TikTok too. So it's just at Brie Mesquit. You can find me on all platforms via my name. All right. So let's get straight into it. Let's start with creating your client avatar. Now, this is something that people find funny and they find unnecessary, and a lot of times they skip over this, and it's so necessary for many different reasons. So doing this exercise is going to help you to nail down your exact ideal client, and this is critical information to know when tailoring your marketing, your sales strategy, your product choices, even your schedule. Are you going to be taking afternoon appointments, evening appointments, weekends, early morning appointments? You need to know who your ideal client, your client avatar is. So you can call it ideal client, you can call it avatar, you can use whatever terminology that you want, but you need to nail this person down. Now, let me preface with saying this. We are not excluding anyone by getting super focused and niche down to really trying to attract one type of person. That doesn't mean we're excluding everyone else. So I can give you a prime example. My personal business coach that I work directly one-on-one with for the past year, and we actually just signed for year 2 with him. His name's Bedros Koulian, and he's like a man's man. He's a bro, he's a dude, and he talks directly to men. When he's on his podcast, he's saying fellas, he's saying man, he's saying dude, whatever. He's talking directly to males, but then here I come, 5'1", nothing, female in the beauty industry, when he's in the gym space and works mainly with men. So it just goes to show, even though you're talking directly to a specific type of person, doesn't mean you're excluding anyone else. So everyone is welcome in our treatment rooms, and we service and serve everyone, and we do it really well, but we want to make sure we are talking directly to our ideal client. The riches are in the niches, okay? So super important. Hey guys, quick interruption to the show to bring you a offer you won't be able to resist. If you have not yet tried Rebel Wax, then go ahead and visit our site, lashandwaxoc.com, and use code TRYREBEL, all one word, code TRYREBEL, to claim 2 free sample size bags. All right, so the first step is literally give your avatar a name. What sex? Are they male, female? And their age as well. So you want to make sure to do this. I know it sounds so silly. So the best way too, if you already have a decent clientele, is going to be think of your clients that you currently have. Who's your ideal person? Who would you like to just copy and paste and have multiple of? Who's your favorite client? They book regularly, they can afford your services, their schedule matches up when you're actually available, they purchase products from you, they purchase packages, whatever it is that you're looking for in an ideal client. Try to think if you already have that person and then envision them. For me, I'm going to change the name because I don't want to actually put anyone out there, but I'll name my ideal client Rachel. Okay, so her name's Rachel. She is a female and she is 30 years old. Next, we're gonna go through and literally envision this person. Next, we're gonna go through, are they single, married, do they have children, and if so, how many? So my avatar is married and she has 2 children. All right, career and hobbies. So my avatar is a stay-at-home mom. And her hobbies include, she loves working out, so she loves Pilates, she likes to golf, she loves going on traveling, she loves going on trips with her family and with her husband alone. So those would be her main hobbies. What is important to her? she loves her family. Her family always comes first, and she really enjoys looking good. So it's really important to her to look and feel her best, hence her hobbies being the gym and just overall health and wellness. She really wants to feel confident and feel good about herself. So that is something really important. Okay, this is the most important part of this whole exercise is what is her pain points. So her pain points is she's pulled in so many different directions with having 2 children that are active in sports and extracurricular activities. Like she feels like she lacks time. So a lot of times finances or timing, like time can be the biggest pain point of our client. So with this, when you keep this in mind, I'm like, okay, so she's married with kids, school-age children, so it's also important to know how old are her kids. So they are in school, so then when we are going through our schedule, it's like, okay, so she only has, and if her pain point's time, she has time to receive her beauty services when her kids are in school. So you should have a schedule that's open during the day. So you have to make sure that this is something that works for you too, because maybe you're a mom with children, so you can only work during the day. So this avatar would match up perfectly for you. But then let's say your avatar is like a working woman, a businesswoman who works a normal 9 to 5, then she may either need those really early morning appointments before she goes into work, or she may need evening and weekend appointments. So see how this is starting to tie in and be so important to really nail this down. You need to know this, but it needs to also work. I wouldn't ever make my avatar a businesswoman if I wasn't wanting to work evenings or weekends. So you have to make it line up with what your availability is as well. Also, this goes into play when you're choosing your product. So maybe this determines if you're going to use an upper scale, higher price point product like fur oil, or maybe something that's a little bit more affordable like just the strip or relax and wax. So that's going to determine too what products, how you're marketing. So marketing comes into play because when you now are talking to this ideal avatar or this avatar, when you're looking at the camera, you're not talking to an audience of 1,000 or however many followers you have or however many people you're trying to reach. You're talking to Rachel. So when you do that, you're calling them out. So it stops the scroll. They're like, wait, she said, are you a busy mom that really enjoys getting waxed, but you just don't have the time, or scheduling seems to be an issue, or whatever. You're calling them out directly. When she's going, she's like, wait, that's me. She's talking to me. Yes. Yes. Okay. I need to know more. I'm going to look into this business. So really, really important, you guys, to nail this down. So if you go on my Instagram, Bree Mesquit, and then you click the link, or actually I'll make sure it's also linked in the description here on this video, but you'll want to scroll down, you'll see Ideal Client Worksheet. I have all of this for you guys to be able to actually fill out. So then every time you're on your stories, you're talking to that person. Like I just gave you the example. Are you a busy mom, but you really want to keep up with your waxing services? Also, another reason why I started my membership and packages was because my avatar did have the pain point of time restriction. So it was not, I used to do lashes as well. So my company name, my business name, Lash and Wax OC. So I started off in Orange County. That's why we have the OC. And I was doing lashes and waxing. So it was super clear what it was that I provided. But with the lash services, I came to realize okay, my avatar has time constraints. So instead of them having to come in every 2 to 3 weeks for an hour to an hour and a half fill, which seemed to be an issue for some of them, I'm going to have mini fills available so that they can come in weekly at a 30-minute appointment for a mini fill. And this solved a couple problems. First of all, what was important to her was always looking and feeling her best, right? So if she's coming in for weekly lash fills and her lashes are always on point and looking great. And then also it solved the pain point of being restricted on her time. So then she was only having to spend 30 minutes with me instead of an hour to an hour and a half out of her day. So this worked really, really well. And then with that, I set up memberships and packages. So she was already prepaid. So she would just come in and out. Now, side note on this, because I was asked this question a lot. People were asking, well, then do they just not tip? You guys should need to be pricing your services based on what it is you need to be making, not factoring in the hope for a 20% tip. You need to make sure that you are pricing accordingly. So yes, sometimes I didn't have my membership people or my package people didn't always tip. A lot of times they would shoot me a Venmo. But what they really loved was that they were already paid and they were in and out quickly. So sometimes they would forget cash and, oh, sorry, I didn't get cash this time. Like, I'll get you next time. And then they would forget. So that definitely can be a thing. So make sure you are pricing accordingly, which is going to be another podcast episode that I'm going to do for you guys. So stay tuned on that one. All right, let's get past the client avatar. Don't skip on this, please. Whatever. You guys can do what you want, but it's going to help you and it's really going to help up-level your business and really like get super narrowed, focused on your content. It's going to help so much, you guys. So do as you please, but just do it. All right, next we are going to go over optimizing your bio. This is like so simple, but makes the biggest changes and impact. It's absolutely insane. Like so many of my coaching clients are like, I literally changed these few things and I already gained X amount of followers and they actually booked an appointment with me. That's the thing. It's like when they're texting me like, I gained 15 followers today. Some people will be like, whoop-de-doo, that's cool for you. But when those 15, 5 of them are becoming new clients, that's huge, you guys. That's huge for now and long-term because we're focusing on not just getting new people in, but also retaining them at the same time. So that adds to your bottom line massively. So it's a big deal. All right, optimizing your bio. First, let's start with your profile picture. It needs to be a headshot. It needs to be clear. It needs to be zoomed in and recent. Please stop using like high school photos or like people need to see your profile picture. If they saw you on the street, they're like, that's Bree. Like so update it. If you change your hair color or whatever, like update your profile picture to best resemble who you actually look like and show up as on a daily basis. Super, super important. A reason why this is so important, so I can just give you an example. We've been doing a lot of trade shows and like in-person events for probably the past couple years now, but we're really going hard in 2025. I'm super excited. I love going to trade shows now. They're chaotic and crazy, but they're so much fun. I love interacting with you guys. That's the best part of it is I love meeting you guys in person. Please don't be scared to come up to me. Do you know how many comments I read the other day on a post I did? They're like, I saw you and you were taking pictures with other people, but I was too nervous. Like, you guys, I'm so awkward and weird and like, I'm you. Like, just come say hi to me. I love it. I'm nervous too. Like, believe me, I show up to these things. I'm like, oh my God, this is so weird. Like, people are going to hate me. Like, please come say hi. Do it for me. More like think of it that way if that helps calm any nerves. Okay, I'm getting off track. I'm sorry. Just come say hi to me. But anyways, people come and talk to me at these trade shows and they're like talking like as if I should know who they are. Like I can tell we've had past interactions and stuff. I'm like, can you remind me of maybe your handle or like just give me a little blip of what we were talking about. And when they tell me, I'm like, oh my God, that's you. Like, oh my God, it's so nice to meet you because we had been communicating in DMs and I know exactly who they are now, but I didn't ever have that like connection because they didn't have a profile picture or maybe it was really outdated. Or sometimes people are using like these like cartoon character ones or like it's a picture of like a dog or something or a logo and I'm like this what like it just doesn't build that relational connection. I don't know what it's called. I'm sure there's like some sort of I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about right now, but there's some sort of term to that, but it just doesn't build that connection and it's really, really important so that when you guys show up and I see you, and not just for that situation, but with your clients too, it's building that like, know, trust factor. People buy from people. Unless you're like Nike or like freaking McDonald's or Target or something like that, where it's like a very recognizable logo, then like, fine, go ahead, use your logo. But we're building our personal brand. Personal branding is so important. You're building that relationship. Remember, social media, not sales media. So we're being social, we're engaging, we're adding value, we're building relationships, and we're most importantly building that like, know, and trust factor. Okay, so just do it. Please just do it for my sake too, so that I can recognize you when we meet in person finally at a trade show. Okay, let's move on from the profile picture. I yelled at you enough about that. Next is handle and your username. Something I wish I would have started from the very beginning was building my personal brand rather than building up as like under my business name. You can have both. Now I have both. So I took over my business Instagram as Bree Mesquit, and then we started a new business one that's more just like super product focused. And then my personal brand, which you guys are probably watching from or you know of it, or it's the reason why you're here is more based on education, just adding lots of value, doing some product knowledge stuff, but it's really just like education, helping you guys start your businesses, grow them, gain confidence in the treatment room, podcasts, things like this. So if you can work your name into your handle, that would be awesome. You can maybe even play around with like having your business name and your personal name. But again, people buy from people. So I wish I would have done this from the very beginning. Plus, you never know what the future holds. Your name goes with you for life. So say one day I sell Rebel, which I have no plans of. It's like, don't freak out. But say down the road, who knows what the future holds? Like maybe I want to sell this company and like move into like, I don't know, the gym space or something, or fitness. Like my name goes with me forever. I won't have to start all over again. And you're building that relationship and just people truly knowing you. And again, people buy from people. So if you can incorporate your name, that would be awesome and ideal. Or at minimum, it needs to be something that if you are in an elevator with someone and they ask you real quick, hey, what's your Instagram? It needs to be something people can actually like spell correctly, pronounce. Like this isn't the time to get fancy with like, if like, I don't know why Bella is the first thing that came to mind, but if it's like Bella, like don't use like 4 L's to be like fancy, because people, they won't remember. It needs to be something super easy to remember, which is why I made my business name Lash and Wax OC, because when I was in Orange County, people just knew OC. Like now it's kind of a problem because I've moved and people accidentally put CO. So I didn't really think out far enough about that, but just something super clear and easy that you can say and people actually remember and they know how to correctly spell too. So another thing to keep in mind. All right, name field. So this is the part of your bio where most people put their name and it's the bolded section, like in your bio, it's the very top line. So this is called a name field. This is the only part of your bio that's SEO, which is search engine optimized. So think of Google. When you Google like waxing or like wax or something, like then that it actually pulls up websites that have the word wax in it. So when people are looking for your services, you have to ask yourself, what is it that my avatar, my ideal client is searching when they're looking for me? They don't know you yet, so don't put your name. They're not searching your name because they don't know you yet. So you can have your name, but then do a little line break. You can have your name, but keep it short. You don't need to have like your full name. The only reason, if you guys go and look at mine, it does say Brianna Mesquit when most people know me by Bree. And I wish I could just have Bree, but I bought the little blue check mark and they like has to match up to your ID. So if you don't have the little blue check mark, then just put whatever people know you by. You don't need to put last name and all that. Put your name. So if it's like Jessica, put Jess. And then make sure to have actual terms that people are searching. So locational is going to be really important. So you have to think, people aren't going to be searching California waxer. That's too broad. Like what if they're in Southern California and Northern California waxers are popping up? So you have to narrow it down. So I would recommend either county, if that's something common that people would search. You guys will know better than me based on where it is you're located. So like, for example, being in Newport Beach, California, where my first salon was, people would definitely search Orange County. So I could put Orange County, or I could even niche it down specifically to Newport. But that could miss some people as well, because, people coming to my salon in Newport, I had people coming from Corona Del Mar, Fountain Valley, Huntington Beach, Costa Mesa. So I chose to do Orange County. So you can do locational. And then what is it that they're going to be like searching for when it comes to the service? So you want to put maybe waxing. You can even niche it down to Brazilian waxing. If you're doing lashes, you can don't put like lash artist or wax specialist or licensed esthetician. You have to get in the mind of being a client. So the client isn't normally going to be using those terms. They're going to be saying, okay, I want to get a Brazilian wax, so I'm going to look up Brazilian waxing in Orange County. So Brazilian wax, Orange County. So just think in those terms. You can either even use, like, this is something cool to use ChatGPT for. You can be like, hey, give me some SEO, the top SEO terms for clients that are searching for a waxer in their area, and see what it comes up with and see if anything resonates with you. Don't list out all your services either. Like, focus on the one, again, the riches are in the niches. So focus on the one that you're really trying to attract. But then when they come in, they're going to see the other services that you provide as well. So you're not going to like be Xing all those services out, but you're just getting really specific on like who you're calling out again, right? We want to actually attract people that are local. First of all, oh my gosh, I can't tell you, when I first started my Instagram and I was client focused, now like I'm like, embrace all that session. I'm like, yes, flock to me. Like, I have things to teach you. I want you to be here. But when I was first starting, I was like, why the heck am I attracting all these other licensed professionals? None of them are actually going to become clients. Like, this is really frustrating. So you want to make sure you're not attracting, like gaining a bunch of followers that are in like, I don't know, Europe or something. Like, they're most likely not going to be booking an appointment with you if you're in California. So you want it, the locational thing is super, super important. Okay, I'm sorry, I got a little off track. I get passionate about this stuff. Can you guys tell? It's just so important. I know how much it can majorly impact and change your business. And the main thing that I'm always like hearing from you is like, I don't know how to build clients. I need clients. I need clients. Well, if you need them, then you need to be doing these things, okay? You're going to get the results, and we all suffer the consequences of our own actions, both positive and negative. And what I'm getting off on a side tangent, but it's important. What I'm realizing is we are benefiting from the actions from usually about 6 to 12 months ago. And my weight loss is like a prime example of that. I saw this video of myself when I was at a hotel gym during the Long Beach trade show, and I was 5 to 6 months into my health and fitness journey, and there was like no visible physical changes at all. There was tons of mental changes like fairly quickly, but when I looked, I was like, oh my gosh, I thought I was like looking like hot, and I was like, dang, like I was still like a little chunky, nothing wrong with that, but it wasn't my goal. It wasn't what helped me show up confidently and feeling good. So I looked, I'm like, if I would have stopped based on that then, like that, I wouldn't now be here where I'm at now, where it's like, I can't believe like I fit in the jeans that I wanted to fit in, and like I just feel so much better, and I can show up in such a different way, both for myself, my family, for you guys. But we start reaping the results of actions that we're taking 6 or 12 months ago. So if you guys aren't liking where you're at, this is going to be a little tough love for you guys, okay? If you're not liking what you're seeing right now, not seeing in your business, it can be relationships with maybe your husband, your wife, your children, whatever it is. If you're not liking it, it's because of the actions you took 6 to 12 months ago. So you need to ask yourself, and what am I doing right now? If it's my future 6 month to 12 month person, future self going to be happy with the results? Like, it's no one else's fault. We really got to break this victim mentality, guys. Like, and sometimes you are a victim and it really freaking sucks. Shitty things can happen to good people, but it's like, what are we going to do about it? Like, we can't just let it are we going to lay in the street and just be like, okay, I give up then, just run me over, take me? Like, no, we have to make changes and do the things that we need to do in order to get ourselves to the place that we want to be. If you want results that you've never seen, you have to be willing to do things you've never done. All right, I'm done yelling at you guys. But do it, please. You guys, you will be so happy 6 months from now. You will be so thankful to yourself. So that's what I like to change my frame of mind. Does that make sense? Especially like at night when I know it's time to like prep for tomorrow, and I'm like, but I just want to sit on the couch and just binge like some trash reality show or something, or like scroll on my phone. But I'm like, know what? Tomorrow's me is going to be so annoyed with myself. Like, if I take the 5 to 10 minutes to do something for the future me right now, then like tomorrow I'm going to be stoked. And then guess what? It takes 5-10 minutes. It's not even that big of a deal. And then I can go watch my trash TV with blue light blockers on now, because I've realized the importance of that to actually get some sleep. I'm getting off on such a side tangent. All right. That will be another podcast episode. I'm laughing at myself because I'm like going on set, but it's important stuff, you guys. It's stuff that I wish I would have learned sooner, but not only learned, we got to stop collecting information. We are not just a library. We need to actually implement these things. Like, to be a collector of information does absolutely nothing. It's important. It's an important first step, but you got to take action on it. Okay. So I want you guys taking action on these 3 things I'm teaching you today in this episode. You deserve it. We're so much more willing to do things for other people than we are for ourselves. And it's so freaking sad. Like, I've given this example before. If your friend called you and was like, hey, I really need a ride to the airport tomorrow, like, but it's early. Like, do you mind picking me up at 5 a.m.? You would have an alarm set. You'd probably set out your clothes. You'd have your keys ready. You would do what you need to do to make sure that you fulfill that obligation or that request of your friend if it is something that you agreed to do. You would show up. You would be there at 5. Hopefully, I don't know. Some of us tend to run a little late, but your friend probably would know that and like tell you 5 when they actually needed you there by 5:30. Anyways, we are so much more willing to do that for other people but for ourselves, we break promises to ourselves all the time. So that's why I like to change it from like, I'm doing this for me now. It's like the future Brie, like it's a different separate person or something. It just, I don't know, kind of like tricks myself into actually doing the things I know I need to do. All right. Bio, let's get back to the social media. The reason why you guys are actually here for this episode. Bio body. So this is who you are, what you do, and who you help. So it could be like, I am a wax specialist or a Brazilian wax specialist, and I help busy moms look and feel their best. Freaking boom. Use that one if that's your avatar. That was pretty good. So who you are, what you do, and who you help, so that it's so clear when someone reads it, they're like, oh my gosh, she is for me. Like, this page is for me. This chick is for me. This is like, yes, like so much yes. Where do I sign up? So mine, I'm looking at my laptop, by the way, because I made like a presentation. I help waxers gain confidence in the treatment room and grow their clienteles. So if you come on my page and you are someone who provides waxing services, boom, I'm for you. You're like, okay, that's me. If you're looking to gain confidence in the treatment room, so you're looking to improve on your technique, boom, that's a call out right there. And then also if you're looking to grow your clientele, which is exactly what I'm doing with this podcast episode, I'm helping you, the waxer, the beauty professional, implement these tips and giving you tips and tricks to actually help grow your clientele. So the next thing is what your content now needs to deliver on the product, on the promise made in your bio. I can't say this and then all I'm doing is like posting like about my dog or like my kids or something. Like, how is that delivering on the promise I made? I promised you, the waxer, that I was going to help you gain confidence in the treatment room and increase your clientele, grow your clientele. So how my dog, like, yes, we're going to be sharing some of our personal life too, but the bulk and the body, your main like meat and potatoes of the content you're sharing needs to be the promise that you make in your bio. So super important, who you are, what you do, and who you help, okay? All right, lastly, you need to have a call to action. So I always make the bottom part of my bio body. For you guys, it will be book now. I would just go with that book now with 2 little pointy emojis pointing down and then have your online booking. Oh my gosh, this is so important. So many people don't utilize online booking. Now, if you're already fully booked out with a wait list and you're a person that like, I like to old school it and like that's your thing, cool. But if you're here listening to this episode all the way through to this point, that's probably not you. You're someone who's looking to actually build and gain more clients. Utilize online booking. Also think about your client, your avatar. My avatar is busy AF, has 2 kids, so guess when she normally is going to book her services? When she's laying in bed after the kids have been put to sleep, she's done all her prep work for the next day, and she's like, crap, I totally forgot to book that Brazilian wax that I want because I have my trip to Mexico coming up in a couple weeks, and I need to book that. If she's a decent human being, she probably, or is like courteous, then she hopefully is not texting you at like 10 o'clock at night trying to book an appointment. So then as it's top of mind, she can go to your Instagram, click the book now button, and then she can go ahead and get an appointment on the books. You guys need to not be the anti-sales department of your own businesses. So that is definitely an anti-sale if you don't have online booking, especially depending on your avatar. But most of our avatars really like to just be able to book online. They don't want all the extra steps. We need to remove as many hurdles and obstacles as possible to just get that booking, especially when we're new and we need these clients. Okay, financially are depending on getting new clients so we're not having to close down and shut down our businesses. So super important. So if you're not already utilizing online booking, make sure to do so. Now, I do not have a great recommendation as of now on an online booking site. The one I have used forever, I don't necessarily recommend anymore, and I'm not client focused, so I haven't played around with all the different ones. So if you're trying to figure out which one you want to go with, I would recommend maybe going in some local aesthetics Facebook pages, start asking, look around, use the search bar, put online booking, and I'm sure tons of stuff will come up. And then what you can do if you're kind of like trying to figure out between a few different ones, you can go on YouTube and put like Vagaro versus Square, and then there's going to be someone who will break down like the comparison and the differences. Make sure again, you're focusing on your avatar. Which one's going to help you serve your avatar best? Do you need reoccurring payment options because you're going to be doing memberships and packages? Do you need online waivers to be able to be on your site? Just all the things, all the different features. So you want to keep your avatar in mind so that you're serving them well. Next and third on our list is our content planner and strategy. Okay, so how the heck do we stay consistent? I know when you guys went to school and you decided to become an esthetician or a cosmetologist, you did not say, hey, I want to be a full-time social media manager and content creator. Some of you maybe that was appealing, especially in today. When I first went to school, honestly, this stuff wasn't being utilized as much for business and growing our clientele. So I know for 100% I did not go into school thinking, I want to be online all the time, spend my entire life online, which is crazy because now I feel like that's exactly what I'm doing. But let me give you some tips, first of all, on how we can make this a little bit more automated and just easier on you. First, batch shooting. So how do we batch shoot if we don't even know what we want to be talking about or shooting? So what I want you guys to do is start a notepad in your phone, or you can actually pen and paper it if you want. Make it something that you can, as soon as an idea comes up, you're able to execute on. Most of us always have our phone on us, so I would just make a notepad in your phone. And then anytime a client asks you a question, whether it's in person, through text, through a DM, a comment on any of your posts or any of your social media stuff, make sure that you write it down. That becomes a piece of content. So when I did this presentation in Portland, at the end, I ended with a Q&A. All the questions that people asked in the Q&A now have become pieces of content. Now I have a whole list of when I filming days like today. So Mondays, one Monday a month, I batch shoot a few podcast episodes and get some other stuff done. And it's then I'm done for that month's worth of podcasts. So batch shoot. So plan a day and make sure. And also, I'm not someone who likes to do hair and makeup every single day. I actually really hate it. I'm trying to be better because then I just feel I don't know, I show up better. I do like when it's done. I hate the process of doing it. But anyways, batch shooting also helps with that because then it's one day you have a cute outfit, whatever, you do your hair, put some makeup on, and then you're done. So batch shooting videos, but that notepad of all the questions that are asked, or think of also those repeated conversations that you have all the time. So for me, oh my gosh, I can't tell you how many times I have this conversation. Which wax should I choose? What's the difference between the gel and the cream wax? What product should I recommend to my clients to prevent ingrowns? That is a conversation on repeat I have almost every single day in my DM. So that is going to be a piece of content that I need to film. First of all, film in multiple different ways. It doesn't need to be all in that day, but that's something that you can redo over and over. You're never bugging people, okay? First of all, we would be completely just wrong if we thought that every single post was seen by every single one of our followers. It just doesn't work that way. So they're not seeing every single one of your posts. But if they are, that means they are people who are engaging and really active on your page. That means they're already bought into you. They love you. You built that no trust factor, and they don't mind hearing the repeats. Okay. So you're not bugging people. You guys don't need to come up with 365 different pieces of content so that you have something unique and different every single day. That's just not realistic. You guys should have 3 to 5 content pillars. So for me, me, it's like education, wax demos, techniques, business building, social media tips, health and fitness now, and some behind the scenes stuff like here at the warehouse I'm working with my husband. So those are like my pillars. And I just on repeat, I'm doing something that falls under each of those. Or each post needs to either educate, entertain, or inspire. Okay. The most common is to actually help convert is not going to be entertainment. Entertainment, think of people like Mr. Beast or like, what do my kids watch? It's kind of annoying because they're always screaming. I'm like, why is there screaming? It's like so overwhelming. Spy Ninjas. Like that's like entertaining content. Like you're not well, I don't know. Maybe they learn stuff. I haven't honestly sat down and like watched a full episode of Spy Ninjas. But anyways, it's more entertaining, right? So it's just for people to sit there and like veg out and consume. So we're not going to do a ton of that. For us though, like for waxing or maybe you do hair or something, entertainment, it can fall under like those oddly satisfying, like maybe watching like the comb go through someone's hair and doing the blowout. Like I stop on those videos. I'm like, ooh, that's like, I don't know. It just catches my eye and I watch it. Or it could be like close-ups of laying a strip of wax and removing it. So you can do some entertaining, but a lot of times they don't convert highly. Those can get a lot of likes, a lot of views, a lot of shares. It can gain a lot of followers, but it's not always like converting content, if that makes sense. So again, we're not here just for the clout of a high follower count, a high like count. Like for example, one of my posts that is going absolute like crazy right now, it's like millions of views and tons of shares, tons of comments, is I was doing a Brazilian wax and it's talking about leaving a strip or a triangle or taking, everyone's arguing in the comments, men are making weird comments, women are fighting with them, and like none of those people are going to buy any wax from me. None of them are going to be booking a waxing class with me. So it's just like, yeah, the view count's high and all that. It's like, cool, look at me. Like I have a post with 1 million views, but like, who cares? Doesn't help with my bottom line revenue. So, honestly, it's kind of annoying and I'm almost thinking about taking it down because I'm like sick of seeing the notifications all the time from like random people that are not beauty professionals. And I know they're not going to be purchasing anything, or even like the people I'm trying to attract that I just want to be like engaging with. So, entertainment, that's all on entertainment. Now, education though, this is where you're going to want to focus the majority of your time. So educating your clients, like, how do I prevent ingrowns? Does waxing hurt? That's the number one question people probably ask before actually getting brave enough to like book the appointment. Does it hurt? How long does it last? Just all the questions that I know you guys have been asked. Write those things down. Those are pieces of content that should be on repeat. All right. And then inspire. So if you want to share some of your journey, like, you know, I was like, for me, I was a teen mom and then I went through beauty school and then I worked my way through European wax. You guys have seen the post, my European wax center days, my living in a trailer days, and then going out on my own, going solo, building a 6-figure clientele, then moving and starting all over again. Like, it's inspiring. It's like, oh, wow. Like, okay, she did it. Because right now you guys are seeing like the 2.0 Brie and the 13 years in progress Brie. So it's like, it can feel unreachable. It's like, okay, that's good for her. Like she can do that, but like, that's not me. But it's like, you guys, I am you. I was you. Like I was the student. I was the one, like the teen mom. And like, honestly, daycare freaking cost more throughout my 6 months of schooling. Daycare for my daughter, because she was little, she turned 1 while I was in school, was double the cost of my beauty school tuition. Like it was a struggle, man. It's been a struggle up until probably about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, to be quite honest. And it still is, but it's different hurdles, like whatever. Anyways, inspire, share the journey, share the stories, connect with people, show you're real, you're human. Like they can see themselves in you as well. It's a little bit different because we're trying to attract clients. So you can inspire though your journey and your, for sure, especially with your business. Because again, like I said 1 million times, but some people usually need to be reminded more than it is they need to be taught. The like, no trust factor. That's what people are buying from people. So they want to see that because then they want to support you. They're bought into your story. They're like, oh my gosh, she started from here and like now she has her own business and like she broke out of like the corporate waxing chain and like, I love this girl. I want to go see her. So you can definitely do inspire. So make education number one. What does Alex Hormozy call it? He calls it edutainment. So it's like you're educating and entertaining at the same time. That's a master. If you can combine all three of these, then but when in doubt, just go for education. All right. This is a lot. I know, but just hang with me, okay? Again, save this episode and come back and watch it. Watch this on repeat, you guys. Make this maybe a bi-weekly thing that you listen to, because each time you'll get a different golden nugget that I need you to actually implement. So it's going to be really hard to implement all of these things right away from the get-go. So after listening to this episode, I want you to pick 2 things to implement. And what I would recommend is your avatar and your bio, okay? If you sit down, you could take 20 minutes on each and it will be done. Then the next time you come back and listen to this, start working through this content planner and strategy. Pick 1 or 2 things to implement and do it consistently and continue. This is the key. Continue doing it even when results aren't yet being seen. Again, you're reaping the benefits or the opposite of benefits. I don't know what that word is right now, but of actions taken 6 to 12 months ago, okay? So even before you start seeing the results of it, keep consistent, just keep doing it, okay? Because this works. It's simple. It's not easy, but it is simple. And it just takes you guys actually implementing it consistently. All right. Each post, you're going to want to have 3 things. You're going to want to have a hook, the body, and then a CTA, which is call to action. So your hook wants to call out, have you been wanting to get a Brazilian, but you're nervous about the pain level? And then you go through the different things in the body, here's ways to make it less painful. Here's what to expect, blah, 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 blah. And then the CTA is book an appointment now, or shoot me a DM and I can answer any questions that you have, or say ones that I use a lot is save this post for later, or share this post with a friend that needs to hear it, or whatever. But you guys need to give your audience, your potential future clients, a call to action. So make sure you have that. So it's the hook. It's the body, the meat and potatoes. I'm really hungry. My stomach's growling and I keep saying meat and potatoes. Now I really want some meat and potatoes. And then, okay, your call to action. Okay. So you want to do that. Utilize pin post. So what the heck should our pin post be? Okay. Do as I say, not as I do, because hopefully actually by the time this episode comes out, I have actually implemented and done this. I'm so bad. My media manager, she's like, Brie, you keep telling people this, but you literally haven't done it. I was like, I know. So I'm going to do it. Okay. Pin post about me. So you want to give a little overview about who you are. That's kind of an inspo post. It's building that no trust factor. It's building that relationship with people. You want people to feel like they already somewhat know you before they ever step foot into before they ever book that appointment and before they ever step foot into your studio space. Super important. All right. So in about me, some sort of free gift. So for me, it's my free 6-week hard waxing 101 course. That is something I put a lot of time and effort and finances into to gift to you guys to just continue to build that no trust factor. And it's something that I really saw a need for. So I'm here, this is what I'm going to do for you guys. So a free gift. Now for you, it might be maybe a 50% off your first Brazilian or something people would feel dumb to turn down. Maybe a free brow wax for a new client, something to entice them to actually come in. So some sort of free gift. It can be a PDF or maybe a free product when they book their first appointment or something. I wouldn't do the PDF or product thing. Really give them a discount on the service. But then in order to convert them into a long-standing client, you got to wow them. You got to have the technique down. You got to give them an amazing experience. So make sure you have your techniques and nailed down first before going solo and venturing out on your own. Because once you go solo, you're going to realize, oh crap, this is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I thought I would just open up a suite and then clients are just going to come flocking to me. And unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. So you don't want to be trying to master and learn the actual technique at the same time as now learning how to be a business owner and dealing with sales and marketing. you're going to wear all the hats at first. So there's sales and marketing, operations, finance. And then on top of that, you're the visionary and the integrator for your business. So it's a lot. So make sure that you wow them with your technique. You have that nailed down. So this is why I really do recommend going and working for someone else before actually venturing out on your own. All right. And then the last one, give them a tour. Okay, you guys, don't skip on this one. This is something I make my coaching clients do from the very beginning. From their first coaching session, and it converts. A lot of people have anxiety about going somewhere new and not like the unknown, right? So you want to make sure that they know, like literally start from out in the parking lot. Be like, hey, this is the driveway that you're going to pull into. This is where you can park. This is the door you're going to enter. When you come into, this is my salon suite. When you enter, there are 2 chairs to the left where you can sit down and wait. If my door is closed, I am currently with a client. Go ahead and sit and wait, and I will come and greet you when it's time when I'm ready for your appointment. Then we're going to walk into the treatment room. There's a table to the right where you can set your purse down. I'm going to confirm the services with you. I'm going to ask you to undress however is necessary for the service it is that you're providing. And then I'm going to stay in the room while you undress and turn my back, or I'm going to exit the room while you undress and I'll be back in when you're ready. Then you're going to lay on the treatment table with your head up this way on your back and go through the whole freaking thing, you guys. Then they feel like they've already done it and experienced it. And then they're like, it just takes so much of that anxiety. And it's, again, another thing, removing an obstacle or a hurdle from them actually clicking that book button. So a great example is my family and I just went to this really cool resort in Warm Springs yesterday, actually. So over this past weekend. And before going, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm bringing my 3 kids. So what do I need? Do they have food there? Do they provide life jackets, or should I bring my kids life jackets? Are wagons allowed? We always have so much crap with us. Should I bring my wagon? Are coolers allowed? I like my spring water. I'm kind of a water snob. I only will drink spring water. There's many reasons why, but I won't go into that. Anyways, I'm like, can I bring my own water? Where do we park? Is there a lot of parking? Do I have to pay for parking? All these things, all these questions I had about before going somewhere new. Your clients have those questions and those kind of concerns and anxieties as well. So as much of that as we can remove from them, huge. So if you're only going to start with one of these pinned posts, start with that one. Start with the tour. And then from there, I would do the free gift and then the about me. All right. How many times should we be posting? So the ideal is 1 feed post per day. I know that can be a lot. And then stories, 2 to 3 a day. Now, your stories are going to be more of the behind the scenes look. So you can show the services, or you setting up for a service, or talking about your day. Be like, I just got the pumpkin spice latte from Starbucks, whatever. It's behind the scenes. It's building more of that no trust factor. It's not as curated and pretty as your feed is. And then 1 feed post per day. But if you're a beginner, and again, follow me on Instagram, I'm literally posting schedules for you guys. Also, make sure you're signed up for my email list, because I'm working on this. Dude, it's going to be so bomb. I'm kind of highly impressed with this. You guys will get emailed content calendars based on being a beginner, intermediate, advanced, based on your different goals. I am making so much, and it's all free. It's just free. Just sign up for my email, my newsletter. You'll go on lashandwaxoc.com, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and I believe it says join mailing list. Just slap your email in there, and you guys are going to be getting, it's good. It's really good. I'm reading it. I'm like, how did I do this? When I get in a good mind flow, I've just been dude, it's really good. Anyways, enough patting myself on the back. Okay, so if you're a beginner, 3 posts a week, okay? Totally doable. You can batch shoot at least 6 of those. So then one filming time slot, you're getting 2 weeks worth of content. But really, honestly, 12 is totally doable once you put in the practice and you get the hang of this. So 3. If you're kind of intermediate, I would say 5. And then if you are more advanced and you're getting more comfortable with the content creation stuff and the posting and all the things, then you'll go into 7. So once a day. All right. Okay. I think I've covered most of it, you guys. I know this was a lot. but this stuff works. Again, like I said, it's simple, not always easy. I know you guys are probably have a million questions. I feel like I've covered a lot, but I know there's always more questions. So go ahead, leave any questions you have in the comments below. Please make sure you're subscribed, your notifications are turned on. If you got any sort of value from this, I would really appreciate if one, you shared it with someone who needs to hear this, because so many people are struggling with building their clientele. So go ahead and share this. Tag me if you do, if you share it on social media. I would love to see that this stuff is actually like valued and people are liking it. Let me know in the comments below what you think. And then of course, if you have any additional questions, feel free to leave them in comments below. Reach out to me, DM me. I'm super responsive. Our email is support@lashandwaxoc.com if you guys want to reach out via email. But make sure that you're signed up for our mailing list, because that's where you're going to get a ton of free resources. And I like map all this out for you guys, but it's up to you to actually do it and take the path. All right. I love you guys. Thank you for allowing me to be very enthusiastic about this. If you can't tell, I'm very passionate about this because I just know the results. I'm reaping the benefits of doing this. I'll see you guys back next week.